What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got the Kickoff Classic Day 2 recap. I know this video is late as hell, but I had to make it because I didn't have a chance to. This matchup was the Royal Ravens against the Paris Legion, and we gotta look at the new look teams for the new 2021 Cold War season. Now, let me tell you, the first half of this game was very one-sided. The Paris Legion really outperformed their expectations. I really thought that the London Royal Ravens were gonna beat them like the first game, but it turned out that the Legion, they were doing pretty good. Scraps is going against his old team. He used to play for the London Royal Ravens, and they traded him, and the Paris Legion picked him up. So he's basically like their ace. He's like their number one player. In like he's the veteran basically. Classic Aqua and Fire. I don't know if they've ever played together, but I know Fire is a rookie, and something's up with the rookies during this kickoff classic. They've been doing really good. Diamond Con, Neptune Fire was, he was pretty hot during this series. I'm not exactly sure what scores he got, but I know he did pretty good in this series. As you can see here, Fire went 22 and 20. He had 4,499 damage. Aqua went 33 and 18. So the new players were doing good. As you can see here, Fire got one of the best plays in the search for game two, I believe it was. And if I'm correct, this series went three games for the Paris Legion and two for the London Royal Ravens. So I do believe that the Paris Legion won this match. And it's a kickoff classic. We can't assume many things. It's basically a scrimmage, not a scrimmage, but it's first appearances in the competitive setting. So as you can see here, Paris Legion won the first game. They lost the second and third game, and they did pretty decent. The Legion won both hard points and they won an S&D, so that was good. Now we have the Minnesota Rocker, and they faced another very good team in the Toronto Ultra. Now, I feel personally that both of these teams are sleepers. Like, they're really underestimated teams that have really very very good players in their rosters. Bands, Cami, Methods, Kleenex, for Toronto Ultra. They basically kept their roster from last year, and the Minnesota Rocker, they changed completely. They now have Accuracy, Attach, Major Maniac, and Priesta, which used to be in phase. Priesta and Major Maniac were in phase last year, and they both made the switch to Minnesota Rocker. So Minnesota Rocker is basically 50% phase from last year, so that's a good thing to hear. These guys are pretty legit. I would really trust my life savings with both Major Maniac and Priesta. They're just very good players. They get slept on, or not slept on, but their expertise gets slept on very much. These guys are very good at what they do, and they're very good at the rotations. Major Maniac is a very smart player. He is a player that really is underrated, man. I wish this guy was in the Dallas Empire or something, in the future, of course, But Major Maniac and Priest are one of the players that are very underrated in this team. Attach is very good as well as accuracy. Minnesota Rocker was looking like sleepers this match. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching this game and I was thinking, man, like people really just look at the top teams, but they don't really take the time to analyze. People just look at the top teams, but they never take a look and analyze at the other teams that are not in the top three. Minnesota Rocker has the potential to upset every single top team, I think, right? Most people wouldn't agree with me, but I think there's enough talent in the Minnesota Rocker to upset various teams. I believe they are legit contenders. I really like the Minnesota Rocker, even though my favorite team is the Dallas Empire because I am a Texas native. And naturally, I'm from Houston, but Dallas Empire is representing my state, so I'm naturally a fan of them. But I really think that the Minnesota Rocker have potential this season. They have a really good roster, and even just in Maniac and Priesta, those two guys are very good, and they've played together already. So that chemistry is there. Bance was always going off. He was also going off this game. I'm not exactly sure how many kills he got throughout the match. I just know he was going off. He was on people's radars. I think he went off the first game and the third game, I believe. I'm not sure. I just know Bance got like 30 plus kills in one of the games. This one included. He was 31-19 in this hard point that they were playing against the Minnesota Rocker, and truly, this was considered just a scrimmage. A scrimmage where everybody was trying. Granted, I don't think anybody wasn't trying, but it's the preseason. We can't make any like concrete assumptions off of this gameplay. It's the preseason, just like the NFL, just like the MLB. You can't make concrete decisions on a preseason. You can just watch them and see how they work. Between them, their gun skill. You want to see how they move around the map. If they have map IQ, if they know where everything's at. How they rotate. It's just what it is. But granted, this was one of the better series of the weekend. I really loved this series. Watching it, it was just very entertaining because you didn't really know who was gonna win between both of these teams. Both of these teams were equally matched, and it reflected in the score of a 3-2 match win by the Minnesota Rocker. But both of these teams were very good, and they portrayed a lot of expertise in the map rotations and just their gameplay overall. And as you can see here, Ocho won this game by a very close margin. This was a very interesting game to watch. So, guys, for the most anticipated matchup of the day, or the Kickoff Classic Day 2, we had Optic Chicago versus the LA Thieves. I'm not even going to begin to explain the dynamic these two teams have, the rivalry that has begun this year between these two teams. I want you guys to go over to YouTube and search up Optic Chicago versus LA Thieves and search up Hex Optic. You guys are going to understand what I am talking about. These two teams have a rivalry that have started because of the owner. LA Thieves used to be Chicago last year, but that is because the real Optic, which is the Optic Chicago, was bought out by another company, and another team was given the name Optic Chicago. So Formal and Scump and Dashi used to be on the real Optic Chicago, and then this other company bought out LA Thieves. So that, I don't want to go into details, but it is a beef in the brewing, as I like to say. But this was one of the most one-sided matches of the day, of the Kickoff Classic Day 2. Optic Chicago destroyed LA Thieves 3-0. Let me just tell you that right now. And they looked like they were trying. They looked like they were trying. And based on a lot of scrimmage videos on YouTube, Optic Chicago has been getting the better of the Los Angeles Thieves. Now, the Los Angeles Thieves owner is Nate Shaw, who used to be an Optic player himself. So the dynamic here is very amazing. It's like some Hollywood type shit. Like, you guys want to research, like all of the owners and stuff. Like, especially between Optic Chicago and LA Thieves, It's a very interesting dynamic there. A nice little beef that is in the brewing here, but Optic Chicago is just a very dominant team. I'd say they are either in first place or second place, or they are one of the most favorited teams as of now to win the championship overall. I would say Optic Chicago is one of the most favored teams to win it all, like win the championship this year. Scump and Formal are the two veterans in this team, and they go way back, and they are essentially what makes this team very, very good, as well as Dashi and Envoy. Dashi was previously in the Optic team, and Envoy is a very good player. So I really, I really would bet that this team could possibly win the championship for this year. They just look very dominant, and they're playing on throwback maps from Black Ops 2, so that gives me even more confidence to know that they have what it takes to step up to the Dallas Empire, to step up to the Florida Mutineers, to be at least top three, at least top three overall. Uh, it would take a miracle to, kick these guys out of contention to win the world championship for this year in Black Ops Cold War. So, I have a lot of confidence in this team. And, you know, it was a pleasure making this video. If you guys want to watch more, remember to subscribe and like, and I will be creating a lot more content more consistently as soon as the season starts. And thank you for the subs, guys. Thanks you for everything, and just keep watching. Thanks.